All right, that's what we're doing here. Honestly, wish I'd have started doing car content in detail a lot sooner. So better late than never. I know my channel's old, but I just never focused on much. So I'm gonna try to start covering stuff in detail. I know a lot of people use visual aid to help do stuff, and so what we do is put this is going in this truck for various reasons. I'm going to cover as much as I can. Try to record and talk as much as I can within reason. I can babble forever about shit, so I'll try to keep it sweet and simple, but try to also cover the details. It's a 20-gallon cells from Jegs. As you can see, there's no mounting tabs. So I'm going to use this wonderful angle iron here. Just going to build a cage around it that can support this. It's fairly thin. I want to say this is a inch and a half probably. That's very, very thin. I don't want anything thick. I actually found some, what looked like it was like 3/4, but it was like three 3-foot sections. So I went with this because they had 3 6-foot sections. That was more than enough. I'm gonna show kind of a, after it's done thing. I'm not trying to show off like my shitty welding skills. I mean, I'm not bad, but I don't, like, that's not the point of this shit. So I'll show you what the cage looks like, how I'm mounting it. I got a particular thing that I like about this truck, how I'm gonna mount it. 10 inches deep. I'm still to be determined on how I'm gonna cut the bed to access it and how it's gonna go in, because I wanna be able to have, it's got this plastic liner, probably gonna cut out a section and then like probably bolt some lips to it. So when I drop the bed, I have a little notch here, right here in it. I can grab it, slide it this way, open up the flap, add fuel, shut that, and slide that back. Kind of make it inconspicuous, just kind of a cleaner look until I get done with everything else. And then I'm doing this for multiple reasons. For one, stock fuel tank has been a bitch. Nothing but the fact that the pump that was in it was shit. The pump that I put in it ended up being shit. So now it's getting a knockoff of the AM380. It's 380 or 340, I don't know. I've used them before. Pre-filter, post-filter, a bunch of Chinese fittings. So I'm going to replace half those. This is my lines. Doing a dash 6 feet in return, which is 3/8. Unfortunately, when you buy that kit, these are the Amazon kits, and while they come with a line that works very well, decent looking line, legit 3/8. The problem we have is, let's see, I have to dig it out. Yeah, there we go, perfect. All right, so you've got the holes in these lines are just kind of trash, because you've got this hole here doesn't run wall to wall, and you got some of the other ones are quite pathetic. There we go. So you got this, you got that. It's just, this is a smaller hole than this. So I'm gonna have to go spend some more money at my local supply shop, because when you buy those, call them ching chong shit, whatever, the line's good, but the return, I don't mind. The return's 5/16. All you usually need, so it's smaller than 3/8 hole. I'm okay with that, but the feed line I want to be all 3/8, period, cut and dry, no ifs, ands, or buts. Don't want to do it twice, so be aware. All right, so that cage around this, bolt it up under here, and after that, eventually, I'm going to build a 4-8/8 rear end, flip the axle tube so it kind of centers the center section, and then I'm going to be cutting the wheel wells, extending that over for a tub, flipping the springs from one side to the other on the inside, and it's going to have enough room for this to go in between those springs, and also is going to end up being about 18 inches of clearance for tires and wheels. So I'm going to do a 12-inch wide wheel with a B-lock, and that'll work for now. I'll go wider later when I can figure out my life as far as what's affordable and all that, but I'm going for a better look than what I have now. And let's see, I'll update in a minute whenever I've got some progress on this. All right, mild stupid little thing here that I'm documenting. This will go right here. And I knew this was gonna happen. I had to clearance this. And all I did is add a bar in there. A few tack welds, nothing spectacular. It doesn't need much, because you can tell now, Like, it does not want to flex for shit. So just a little thing if you're doing that same thing I'm doing. Just a little piece of bar in there. It's probably, I don't know, half inch piece of bar stock. Nothing spectacular. All right, up under here, I went off and removed this guy that usually sits in here somewhere. Cut it out. Did it kind of sloppy job because normally I would, want to pull the bed so that I can get to these rivets up here. That's what's remaining of it right there, right here. There's rivets holding it in several spots. I just cut it for now because my concern is to get the truck running until I'm ready to put this narrowed rim in and flip the springs. When I do that, I'll pull the bed and I'll actually pop these all the way out. And leaf springs here, these are gonna have to be moved to this side, so this is gonna be notched, so that'll have to come out the way anyway. Notch here, so on and so forth. And this is wider here than it is here. So it actually comes in. So this, I'll end up, like right here where this goes, I'll end up, dang it, if I get some light. Anyway, this will be brought back to, here. That's about the difference that I need to keep those where they need to be. So just updating as I go along. Hopefully this shit makes sense. I don't mind answering questions if somebody has any. But cage is cooling off, top and bottom's done. I'm fixing to measure that out, and I'm gonna make it so I can install it, and 4 bolts hold the bottom piece in. So if I ever needed to pull that thing out for repair, replacement, whatever, it's an option. I'm not gonna make something permanently affixed in here. But this truck, if you're curious, does have a C-notch, all that stuff. It was already done when I got it. I can't answer what brand it was. This is going away, of course. If you're curious about these, is a little X pipe with some 6-inch Dynamax bullets. Guys ask me what mufflers are on the truck, and that is the answer. Another problem I'm gonna have, this is gonna be here. So these are gonna have to be relocated. It's fine, I'll figure it out. Cross that line when I get to it. I don't know if I have room here for it, so I'll probably have to stick to this side since there's not gonna be a fuel tank. And I might just convert to a vertical shorter shock since it's kind of unnecessary at this point. All right, to be continued. All right, there it is. Gonna figure out my mounting points inside the truck. That's my ideas. And since I cut out that brace, I have to add one. But as you can tell, it's kind of sweet, simple, basic. It'll do its job. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, painting the fuel cell black on the sides. I'll get the bottom too. I just don't want it catching attention from below. I measured this in the center, both ways, 20 inches. I went to 22, so I have a room, inch of air on each side. Cut these down. I hammered them flat instead of trying to get this all the way out, hoping it kind of keeps a little bit of a structural integrity on there because it's still the bed of a truck. Although I'm going to lose most of it when I cut a hole here in a second. This bar here usually sits right here. I think I covered this already. I had to move it up because it has to be out of the way for whenever all this shit gets flipped from side to side to the inside. I'm gonna, of course, take all that out. This could not be in the way of this whenever it gets set in here from that side. It's crossed over. So I put it up here, welded it. It does fit, so I was able to reuse what I already had. And that's where the fuel cell is gonna stop. And probably have to have some tabs come off here to mount the cell with that. And now I got to figure out a cross member up here to help reinforce what was removed and cut out. All that's gone. This cross member is gone now. So something to reinforce this and also be the backside mount for the tank. So getting there. All right, bed cut time. This guy right here, I got myself 2.5 inches out each direction. Measured it from underneath, did all I needed to do, drilled one hole in each corner, came up top. Wanted to have plenty of room for this, so I'm gonna put something on each side of this so I can kind of just slide it out to here whenever I'm putting fuel in, and then slide it back. That way it's kind of incognito. I just thought that'd be creative. I got a little carried away right here, got impatient. Anyway. all turned out fine. Gotta clean that up a little bit just for my own peace of mind. That side I cut at that angle, so it's good, but cut this up and keep on keeping on. Take two. I dropped my freaking phone. Anyway, here it is right there in all of its holiness. I ran out of time for today. I needed to get this guy and that one right there. I'm sorry, that one over here actually. The vent is fine. It's the return. I needed to cap it off. So I need to make mounts for this thing and get a few fittings so I can run the lines, and then I'll be able to pull out the factory tank, hook all that up, and I'll be running and driving this thing again until I get the rear end ready to do a bunch more cutting and chopping and welding and all that fun shit. I don't know that I had a lot more done, but I'm about to be 39 and I just, lost my drive and messed with cars for about 2 years. So I'm barely getting back into it, and I don't have the energy that I used to because I guess I'm getting old. Yeah, moving right along. It's going to be very cool when it's done. So I'm not going to post this till it's the tanks and everything's done, I guess. So it's just one continuous piece of information for guys. It's probably not full of detail, but I'm usually pretty good about answering comments. So if somebody has questions when I do post this, ask away. All right, there she is. Just painted the bottom so it's nice and wet, so you see how fat I am in the reflection. Yeah, I got angle ironed up the corners where I want them. I might change that up so I can pull the whole cage out eventually, but right now, as it sits, I have these on all four corners. The bottom cage will drop off. Tire fuel cell can drop down, which I'm gonna have to do because the return line, that one's gonna be blocked off. I'm gonna use one for feed, one for return here, so I don't need that up there. Not to mention there's not gonna be a radius fitting tight enough to clear between the bed and that. But that's it in all of its bullshit ass glory. I'm still got enough room for these to get flipped into here like I'm gonna be doing. Let me lower it and then you can see the top side. I'll explain some things. All right, there's that guy. So you can see what it looks like from the top side. I shot some random paint I had laying around. I'm gonna use that panel that came out of here and add hinges, and I'll probably put a stop on the bottom so it can flip over and still have some structural support. Still pretty rigid, to be honest, all things being said, but I'll be able to flip that down, and this I'm gonna bolt a piece of something to the bottom so that it can literally just slide to reveal the hole and go back. So might be a little bit of a challenge getting that to sit the way I want to, but yeah, that's that. Now I have to do all my plumbing, and I gotta get the fittings for that. The shop was closed that I was gonna go to today. 5:30, they're not open. Sucks to suck. But so yeah, any questions, comments, concerns, details, whatever. I'm just trying to start documenting shit that I do like this. I know it helps a lot of people visual aid. I've got a pretty mechanical mind, so when I see something, I can run with it. Although I like to see what other people have done, just in case like my idea is not the best, because I mean, nobody's going to be nailing it 100% best way the first time every time. But very happy with that, how that turned out so far. The whole turned out pretty clean cut. I was kind of worried, sometimes things get a little wonky, but very happy with that. And I don't even know what I did with the damn cover for that. Like, I painted it all nice and it's sitting somewhere dry by now, but I don't know where it is. So yeah, talk to y'all next time. Totally forgot the bonus content part. Not really. But you can see I got that where I wanted it. I did not want to be able to see that fucking thing hanging down. So get up underneath it far enough you can see it. But I did want that up as far as it would go. And turns out if you clearance everything, and between the tank, the fuel cell, and the bed and everything's ready, a 2x4. I cut one into, little blocks, 2x2 blocks, put one in each corner, picked it all the way up, and that got me what I wanted.